So today is November 29th. This is the eve of your 90th birthday, Dad. So you're sitting here with your two sons, Jeffrey, and I'm Kevin, of course. Did you ever think that you would live to be 90?
No, I didn't.
As far as we know, you're the oldest living male in your family. Do you know anybody else who lived to be that old in your family?
My grandmother was 86. Rosie was 92.
And Goldie, she's a year older than you are.
Goldie's 90, she'll be 92, and she'll be 92 on Christmas Day.
When were you born?
November the 30th, 1930.
What is your oldest memory that you have?
I don't know, I don't remember anything on the farm. I was too young. Living in College Hill, I guess. Yeah, let me tell you, I never told anybody this, but when I was a kid, this family, they were well-to-do, lived at our backyard, and their backyards met on College Hill. And one time I wanted to go to a movie, it was 25 cents, and I didn't have 25 cents. So I went over and I asked a lady if my dad could borrow 25 cents. And she says, "What? Well, you send your dad over, and we'll see if we'll give him the 25 cents. I said, "Oh, no. She knew I was lying. So I just stuck my tail between my legs and went home.
Now, when you were very young, your grandfather and your grandmother lived with you.
I was 3 years old, and he was holding me, rocking me in a rocking chair. And Mom figured it was time for my nap. She took me out of my grandfather's lap, took me upstairs and put me in bed. And when she came back downstairs, there was my grandfather. He died in that chair, rocking chair. But I can't remember anything of him.
So when you were a kid, what was a really, really happy moment for you?
Oh, probably going to College Hill Church, Presbyterian Church. They'd give us slips to go down and buy shoes. Then they'd give us big bags of food, turkeys and all that stuff.
Around the holidays.
Yeah. Grandma lived with us, and that wasn't always the happiest thing in the world, but she kept us in tow. I can remember every night I'd go in her bedroom while she was praying, and she would say the Lord's Prayer. And I learned, Achamlak Fiulnak Ink Sentenak Ishtanek Naibelame. That was beginning Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Amen. But and then on Christmas time, I'd ride down on a bus with Grandma, and she'd do a little bit of shopping. She'd buy back candy for us kids and maybe a pair of socks or something, And but the embarrassing part was, like the 5 and 10, it goes down. She'd go there, stand there. She never wore underpants. And I didn't catch on first, spread her legs and pee right there. I'd see pee running down the sidewalk, and I'd say, "Grandma." She didn't care.
You would have been how old?
Oh, by that time, probably maybe 5 or 6. I hate to say it, but Grandma wasn't really a clean person. I don't ever recall her taking a bath. I'm not saying she didn't with the girls or something, but not in front of us boys. But that poor old soul, you guys don't know that old kitchen we had. All them windows. It was cold out there, no heat whatsoever. That's where she ate. She'd buy this big loaf of Russian bread. I don't think I could have eaten that, Jeffrey, with my teeth today. But she only had a few teeth, and she could chew that. She'd sit out there in that cold, that chair next to them on them damn windows, and she was contented.
Did your grandmother speak Hungarian?
Yeah, she couldn't speak English. She used to raise Cain with my younger brothers and sisters. She said, "Why don't you kids learn how to speak Hungarian?" And I said, "Grandma, you were here half your life in America, half your life in Hungary. and you never learned to speak English. So how do you expect the kids to learn Hungarian? You know, the kids, they would pick up stuff, but I never really heard Goldie, especially Goldie. But Rosie, even when she went to live with Aunt Vera and Uncle George in Detroit, I imagine she spoke a lot of Hungarian to some of their old Hungarian friends and that.
Was your grandmother a good cook?
So.
What did she like to make?
She could make bread. Puliska, that's that mush, yellow, and then she'd bake it, and then we'd have slices, we'd put sugar and milk on it. But Grandma didn't do much of when Goldie and Rosie got older, they did a lot of cooking, you know.
Did she make food that was like old country, recipes from the old country?
No, I remember my mother making it, not my grandmother. See, my grandmother lived with us, and my mother and my grandmother never got along. See, it didn't matter to my dad because 90% of the time he wasn't home. He's either working or in a beer garden on Corner Tavern. Well, I'll tell a story of Rosie. We only had 2 bedrooms upstairs. Us boys and my dad would sleep in one bedroom, and grandmother and all the girls slept in another room. Anyhow, this one night the girls were out late. And he come home about half baked, and he waited for him. Well, I remember I was in bed. Louie and I slept in one big bed. The light was on in the girls' bedroom. So this one night, I remember he started carrying on about the girls when they come home. He actually booted them girls in the rear end going upstairs. I mean, literally kicking them in the rear end. I couldn't say nothing, you know, because I know what would happen to me. But later on, I told him, I said, you know, Dad, I'd be damned ashamed of what you did, how you treated your own daughters. They weren't whores off the street. They were your daughters. And you treated them like they were pigs off the street. I said, you ought to be ashamed. They said, that's when they told me, you shut your DD mouth. You don't like it, and get the hell out of my house. But I was over in the Navy then. I wouldn't dare speak back to him till I was in the service. And he got so mad, he told me, get the hell out of the house. I said, that's okay. I called him Pop. I said, that's okay, Pop. I haven't been around. I haven't lived under your roof for the last couple of years. I don't have to live here anymore. I said, not under your condition. And he said, good, get the hell out of here. And he went out, and he slammed the front door. It's a wonder he didn't break the glass in the door. It shook the house. So he walked down the corner to Marita Grill at that time. And, I'm getting ahead of the story. I come home on leave. I had wrecked my car. I plowed into the back of this girl's car. I had my car in the garage, so I had to catch a bus back and forth. And he called me up and he said, Paul, you going downtown? I said, yeah. So he said, come on, I'll ride down with you. So, yeah, I went downtown. I even forget where I went. But naturally, he went to the Uptown Inn. That was on between 15th and 14th Street. You know where the Beaver Falls Fire Station was. You come out on the 7th Avenue, where that financial building now bank. Then the Uptown Inn was a bar right next door to that.
When you were a teenager, you didn't travel much outside of the trolley lines, really, right?
No. My dad never had a car. Uncle Louis bought a car. He bought that 4-door Chrysler. I forget the year of it now. And my dad would start driving it. You know, he didn't care. He didn't have a license. He drove all over the place with that thing. My grandmother would go with us once in a while, and she'd always say, oh, we can thank President Roosevelt for all these nice roads. I remember this one day. She no sooner said that, my dad hit a puddle. Boom, 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 weird thing. But
didn't the headlights fall out?
No, that was another story. At those days, they had air raid wardens. They'd wear the white helmets and everything, and they'd go around and make sure you had the lights turned off or the blinds drawn. And this one night, Rosie and Goldie had these two boyfriends, and they'd always take me with them. And we left, we forgot to pull the blinds down. In that old kitchen part, the lights were on. And the air raid wardens, I guess they read my dad the riot act. Well, he read us the riot act too, but my dad was strict. When he whistled, we could be down over the hill in them big rocks, but we could tell when he whistled. You better get your butt home. When he whistled, he didn't whistle 2 or 3 times.
Do you remember when you got your first radio?
We had to live there in College Hill. Like I say, we moved there in 33. My dad lost that house in 39. So between 33 and that, I think we had a radio right away. Big one. It was, one of the tall ones.
When did you get your first television?
Oh, I was in the Navy when they got the first TV.
Well, let me ask you this. When did you first see a television?
I first saw it in the big department stores, in the windows.
What year?
Probably around 46, 47, somewhere around there.
Was that a big thing? Like new technology?
Oh, yeah. It was a great thing. You imagine listening to radios all that time and all of a sudden seeing the action on the TV. I sent money home when I was in the Navy for my sister to buy that TV set. First TV set. Had doors on it.
Did you have a favorite movie star when you were a kid?
Yeah, Roy Rogers, Gene Autry, Lash LaRue.
Sounds like a porn star.
Lash LaRue.
Yeah, it was Lash LaRue. Yeah, Tom Mix.
These were talkies, right?
What's that?
These were talkies, these films, right?
But yeah, they were talking.
Did you see silent films when you were a kid?
A few times, yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
Wow.
So you started to play harmonica, Dad, when you were how old?
Probably about 8 years old.
Where did you get your first harmonica?
I don't remember. It was just a cheapo. I just heard on the radio, so I just started playing on my own, try to learn it.
You never had any lessons?
No. I don't know. I just like it's something I picked up and I could play it. I keep playing it till I get it down pat. If I know the song, I can play it. I can't read music.
So you want to go ahead and play us something here?
I'm just going to, whatever comes to mind.
Sure, just go ahead and play.